Oh, and one quick note before the video begins. Some things have changed about Annabelle's character since this video. Just so you know, so anyway, let the video begin. Now I can finally throw all that.
My lady, here are some letters Peter sent you.
Oh, they were left for me. Oh, thank you. Alright. I'll look at them. This is unaddressed. No return address whatsoever, no kingdom or anything. Annabelle.
I think you murdered your fiancé and you should die.
Alright, I'm not going to reply to that one. Despite the nasty hate mail I seem to be receiving, I am going to look at the other letters. Because I'm sure there's something nice in here, because otherwise, the person who gave this to me would not have handed me it. Though I do wish they had looked through to see if there was anything horrible in it. This one is from Haley Marshall, from the Kingdom of Haley Marshall Writes. And let's see if there's anything in there. Dear Annabelle, are you an elf? Do you have any magical powers? And then it just repeats again. But then it says, she looks pretty kind compared to Phoenix. I don't really consider myself to be a kind person. Like a really, really nice, will give you hugs kind of person. I am not that. I am really not that, but if someone were to put me next to this Phoenix person, do I look kinder compared to them for some reason? I'm actually very confused. Are they a warrior of some kind? Because, I mean, I know how to fight, but I don't know if my, well, they also included a picture of me on a good day, so maybe that's where they got the impression that I'm a very, very, very kind person. I'm not necessarily that. But to answer the question, I am half elf. I'm half an elf. Well, that sounds funny. I am half elf, half human. My father was an elf, my mother was a human. So yes, I am partly elf. For if I have powers though, I do in fact have powers, just I am not that skilled at them yet. I'm still learning. But whether I look nicer compared to this Phoenix person who I have no idea who it is, and I am just making an assumption, who I assume is a really tough warrior who knows exactly what they're doing in battle. Maybe they're very muscular and look very tough, and I look very small in comparison. I do imagine I would look a lot kinder in comparison to them. But I've had to do some things that I have not necessarily liked. And I wouldn't say that I'm a good person, if that makes sense. I wouldn't describe myself as evil. I'm just complicated, I guess, or in between the two. But I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. Yes, I did save some people at one point, but did they deserve to be saved? I don't know. I mean, I do sort of know, actually, but I don't. If I keep thinking back to it, I keep wondering if I should have just not saved them. But I suppose I look nicer in comparison to this Phoenix person who's probably a warrior, who's probably really strong and very muscular, because one, you were looking at a picture of me on a good day, and, well, a painting to be more specific, not a picture, but a painting of me on a good day, and you were also comparing me to someone else who I imagine looks a lot tougher than me. If anything, I would say that Ophelia is a nicer person than me. She's really sweet, really, but I'm not the person in the painting, so. So, that was a good letter. At least let's see what the other ones are. This one is from Greg from the Kingdom of Bookhaven. So, let's read this. Oh, Detective Inspector Time has a thing for Annabelle? Oh, you had to bring that in. Alright, so, to explain, since I do not like talking about this, yes, Detective Inspector Time does have feelings for me. He has talked about that multiple times in a row. In fact, I do get love letters from him. In fact, I think I actually did get one from him. It's over here. Yes, so I do get love letters from him. I try not to read them. Anyway, I do not love him. I will never love him. But he has written several love letters to me. I think he's gone as far as to perform a ballad about me, about how beautiful I am. But I do not love him back. I will never love him back. And yet he keeps persisting on and on and on to write love letters to me. I wish she would just stop. I really wish she would. This one isn't signed. It's from Anonymous. So, what is your favorite weapon? I'm assuming you use a bow and arrow. Doesn't everyone who's a little bit elven? What was the best shot ever? I don't use a bow and arrow, actually. I am elvish, but not every elf uses a bow and arrow. Really. The only time I've actually really encountered one was when someone was firing a bow and arrow at me. I never had a bow and arrow pointed at someone else. The weapon I actually use is either a sword or a dagger. I use close range weapons, but I don't use a bow and arrow. If you could transform into any magical animal, which would you choose? Alright, so I think I would be a good minotaur. It just seems really fun to just have, to be half horse and then just run through open fields and maybe be freeing. That'd be really nice. A minotaur, I think, would be really good. Thing is, I think you're mischievous. That's actually right. Actually, someone actually got something right. I am mischievous, even though I'm not really. It doesn't take over my whole personality. I'm a little bit that way, but then I'm a little bit serious, really. I mean, I have to be kind of a mixture of both. But the thing is, I think both of those, being serious and being mischievous, have helped me in my cases. Though, I do think I became more mischievous after the criminal alias. I don't think that was before. But either way, it has really helped me to have a mixture of both. And I think that's maybe why Carlian really liked me. If you don't know who that is, the god Carlian is one of the trickster gods who's the god of mischief. There are two trickster gods really, but Carlian is the one who really liked me. This is a letter from Grace Thomas from the Kingdom of American Girl Doll's chat club. Do you have any boyfriends? Boyfriends are overrated. Oh my god. Yes and no. I had a fiance who died, but I wasn't in love with him. And Detective Inspector Tammy was really interested in me, but I'm not in love with him either, so yes and no. But there are more questions here. How many mysteries did you solve? Alright, I need to explain this why I cannot answer the amount of mysteries I've solved. I do not know. I have amnesia. I don't remember what happened previously. I wish I knew. I really wish I knew, but I don't know. Who taught you to solve mysteries? I taught myself. Actually, no one taught me to solve mysteries. I taught myself how to solve mysteries. And I do not need a mentor to tell me how to do it. I was thrust into a dangerous situation where someone got murdered and I figured out how to solve it. No one taught me how to do it. But no one taught me. No one taught me at all. What was the hardest thing you ever done? Have you ever done in your life? I'm going to say taking on an alias who was a criminal. An alias who's a criminal was pretty hard to do. Because I had to do some illegal things, which I'm not proud of, but I had to do them. And that was really hard to do, so that has to be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Let's see, there's still a lot of questions to answer. Let's see, who is this from? This one's from Fleming. It doesn't say what kingdom they're from, but it's from Fleming. Do you think you'll ever fall in love again? If so, what traits would this person, in quotations, person, possess? Gods, please stop caring about my love life. Really, please just stop. Just stop. It's not of any importance to you. You have other things to do. Do not care about my love life. But I suppose to answer these questions, maybe I'll fall in love again. I wasn't really in love with that person. The fiance, if you're talking about him. I do not love him at all. If so, what traits would this person possess? So, the person who is not my fiance, my ex or dead, don't know which to call him. My ex or dead fiance, my ex-fiance who's dead might be better. My ex-dead fiance. The traits the person who's not him would possess, they'd be really sweet, really gentle. They would just be really sweet and gentle. They would actually listen to me. And I feel like they'd be a calm and grounded person. Yes, they would be that. They'd be a calm, grounded, nice person who is not my fiance. He is the opposite, in case you're wondering. He is not grounded. He was never really nice. He was really full of himself. And the final question from Fleming is, what has been your favorite detective case to solve? None of them? That sounds like I don't like solving cases, but no, that's not true. It's the fact that I don't think anyone's murder is particularly a thing I would enjoy. Every time someone has died, it's always been frightening. It's always been uncomfortable, and I've always been worried that there's a killer on the loose. I am not going to be excited to solve the case so much as feel like I have to solve the case. Of course, the urge is what usually presents good things to happen in the end, which makes me feel good in the end, but I wouldn't say any of the cases I've ever solved have been a favorite case. No. this one is also from Anonymous, a different Anonymous. Would she want to be a detective inspector on the police force if she wasn't a princess? I actually would want to be a detective inspector on the police force if I wasn't a princess. I really would. It'd be so much easier compared to just sneaking out and trying to solve cases that way. The other question is, there is going to be an author who writes a thinly veiled biography of her life and markets it as the world's answer to Sherlock Holmes. Someone would most definitely do that. I can imagine someone doing that. Also, if there was a Disney princess movie made of her, how many times would she watch it?
Disney does not exist in Annabelle's world, but her answers are ones she'd give if it did.
So, one time. But the only reason for that is because I do not trust Disney to portray my world accurately, nor do I trust it to portray me well. Yes, there have been some princesses who are tough and strong and stuff like that, but I don't think Disney would do a good job at it. I certainly don't think they would get all my life accurately, given how they're going, and given that I solve murder mysteries. I highly doubt that they would have the murders happen on screen. They would probably have it happen off screen, and you wouldn't even get to see the body. And knowing Disney, it would probably be a musical of some kind. I do not think it could be a good musical, but I do not think they would portray my world's music very well. If anything, it would more be trying to be more mainstream to their realm rather than mainstream to my realm. And I highly doubt they would portray the Pantheon well, given how they portrayed Disney's Hercules, which was the version of that realm's Pantheon. And they got it very wrong. So I can imagine both Ophelia and Carlion and the other gods just complain about it, and if you were to do anything wrong with it, I can assure you, Disney, you'd be cursed. They don't seem to understand the complexities of people's lives. They just seem to want to make a very polished version of it. And I don't think my life could be turned into that. How would Annabelle react if Phoenix published anti-monarchy poetry in her world? So that's who Phoenix is. He's a poet of some kind. I thought he was a warrior. I actually thought Phoenix was a warrior because he looked nice in comparison to me. But if he's anti-monarchy, I don't care. If he has anti-monarchy as you want. I, for one, actually think that the world could do without a king. Given how much kings I've seen have abused their power. So, yes, I think the world could do without a king. Alright, so the last question is from Potato. She's either a princess or part of the royal guard. She doesn't talk much, but people like her anyways. She just had a breakup, but she's already over it. She's that tough. So I am a princess. I'm not the royal guard. I'd actually want to be a member of the royal guard, but my father will not let me. For obvious reasons, such as being the first in line. I don't overtalk, but I also am not a quiet person. I'm in between. And I'm sure you heard about my fiance who died. I'm already over that. Though I'm annoyed that everyone seems to be bringing it up constantly. Why are you doing that? Why do you feel the urge to do that? And then the question is, do you consider yourself a violent person? I'm going to do a scale from 1 to 10. I think I fall into 5. Though if someone is being horrible, like absolutely horrible, like does something horrible to me or one of my friends, It's probably a 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. But I do not consider myself overly violent because I don't do stuff unless I have to. I do know how to use a sword, and I'm working to learn how to use magic, though not for violence reasons, but for reasons to help me solve cases. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is black, actually. I just really like the color. I have worn clothes that are blue several times, but I like black. I like wearing black, and I like the color black. It's just really nice. Well, that was all the letters I got. It was very interesting, to say the least. A lot of people were obsessed with my love life, and I do not know why. Anyway, I have got to go now. But farewell.
I hope you enjoyed my video. Phoenix's answers to your questions and impressions will be posted next. In the meantime, here's a playlist about Annabelle. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!